There's only a few words in the second line, but uh, that's fine. That's whatever. Could be worse. Um, hey, Killer Q, how's it going? Welcome back. Um, all right. Hey, look at all these level ups. Yeah. Congratulations, Protospasm, Killer Q, and Jorisk on your level ups. um, I'll wait a second before initiating the next event. Excuse me. All right. So doop doop. Oh yeah, I was working on art stuff earlier. That was fun. Good times. Good art time. Good art fun time. Whatever's. Uh, um. So the only thing that I'm like the thing that I'm weighing in my mind most right now is the making level gifts. Like the leveling thing. Hmm. I don't know. That seems the most real. Like the most. It's like of everything that I have going on over here. Like I have trepidation or like hesitance about like pretty much all of them. Oh yeah, there's Fox in the game. Uh, um, oh yeah, my secret control panel is kind of like a mess, but uh, I know how to use it, which is the important part. Um, oh, I mean, actually, that just kind of reminded me of another one of those things that like I could do at some point because I kind of want to do it on. I kind of want to do it eventually, maybe, but I don't have any immediate plans for it. Clean up secret panel, or actually, no, I should say make secret panel usable. Because right now it's technically usable. Like I know how to use it, but like it's not like if yeah, without me, no one would ever know how to use it exactly. So I mean, yeah, I'm adding that to this list, but I'm not putting it high on this list at all because I'll do it someday, um, or I won't. No, I will probably. Um, okay, so I'm gonna kick off this event because why not? Hey, all right. So yeah, making the level gifts. I'll see if I can. I'll see if I can do a few more of these, like the little text snips. Oh yeah, well yeah. So the other thing is that this list is actually a bit longer than it was a second ago because this list now also includes or whoops no not that equipment. We added in more, even more. So we left off at Fox, and then we added all of these in. So, I mean, not many of these actually represent level ups, which is good, I guess, but some of them do, right? So this is level 40, this is level 41, this is level 42, 43, 44. All right. So wow. Yeah, I have a lot more. I added a lot more. Oops. A lot more items than I did levels with this. With this most recent art set. Um. um. So cool. Then all right. So the hood. Uh, the sun is out of your eyes. Uh, uh, with this hood there. Whatever. I'll do a second pass. I'm just gonna like try and get as many of these done as possible, and then I'll do a pass on them later to get them less, you know, whatever. um, Uh, uh, this kilt is uh, is uh, a kilt. Or uh, it's super breezy. I don't know. Um, uh, um, uh, armband. Oh yeah, wait. What is the armband? It's like, oh, it's a replacement for the bracers. Um, so yeah, so you find an armband, uh, armband, armband, uh, inscribed with inscribed, no, inscribed with symbols or something. I don't know. The other thing I could do, like right now, like all of these little snips are very much about like the literal like level up thing itself. But like, I mean, I could go in a different direction and just have it like, I don't know, like I don't know, more abstract or like more like so when you join the Twitch IRC, do you get a join for everyone else? Yeah, hypothetically that's the case, Pema. If you quit IRC and rejoin IRC too fast, it won't give you those join messages. But like you'll notice whenever I start this script, sorry, I'm just to answer a question in chat. Whenever I start the script, first it's only me and it's only Trusty Bard and Binry, right? You always see those two characters march across the screen, and that's because I add those characters manually. Actually, uh, I I I mean actually I could even get rid of the part where I add Trusty Bard and Binry manually. I do it mostly for testing purposes because it's otherwise I have to wait to get the join messages before they're in the script. But what is it? So yeah, so this is like all the stuff that oh yeah, so this is the part where we first connect. This is just a bunch of prints that I send out at the beginning of the script. This is the part where we're actually connecting to Twitch IRC, and so the first thing that we get is where is this exactly? So oh, the first thing that we get is this like 353 list, which sometimes has yeah, sometimes we get this 353, and that's like sufficient for like listing out players, and so like we can actually like drop in the players like really soon. But if we don't get this message, then it'll just give us joins down the line. So this is a bad example because in this case it did give us this 353 message, and so we just populated the character list based on that. But when that doesn't come through, then instead what you'll see is you'll see just a bunch of like join and part messages like sprinkled throughout instead. So yeah, I it's funny I put in like the checking for this 353 message, but someone told me that the 353 doesn't actually really do anything. But here in this case, it clearly is doing something. So I don't know. I guess I tend to gloss over that a bit, but I guess maybe this is actually like an important and meaningful thing to do as well. Could be advisable if you're using the join parts. Oh, that event is still running. I'll conclude that. That event was random, so the fact that it came out perfect in one direction and not in the other was just that was just the fates. um, I'll have to figure out what that. Well, so I guess it doesn't really matter if the 353 works well though. Pema is that you can't ignore it, right? Because if you ignore it, then you'll be losing data. So like it's not gonna give you that information all the time apparently, but sometimes it will, and when it does, you should probably be paying attention, right? So no, that's I guess what I would emphasize it a little bit. Uh, Yeah, so right now these messages are very they're dwelling on like the material aspect of like leveling up, but like there's no specific reason that that has to be the case. Like I could just say like I could even like I could try and mix it up. I could like try and alternate between saying like referencing specifically what like material you got by leveling up and just like making other like statements, pertaining to like um oh yeah, okay. The so actually I guess okay, so this isn't so what we have here in this debug output is not a good example for join part messages, but because actually what you'll see here I'll print the exact I'll copy and paste the exact line into chat. Uh, uh, this might get truncated because it might be too long. Whoops. That looks horrible. If it even printed, it might have been so long that you guys didn't even see any of what I just typed there, or whatever just typed there. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll just make it a little more clear, especially in case that didn't work. I'll just like put it here and put it in bigger text for a second. So yeah, so although normally what you get is the join part messages, every once in a while, as soon as you connect, you get this. And this is, I think this is Twitch IRC. Like this isn't like an IRC thing. This is just something that Twitch does specifically. Um, uh, Print. I don't know. I just use print for for this stuff. Um, it's literally print. Like here, yeah. Like whenever I do these things, I'm literally printing them. Whatevs. Yeah, no. Oh, so this is the so this is yeah. So if dog, then this is the alternate format that you occasionally get, and it's oh, you can't really see it here, but so like I call it the 353 because it's this message that we see it because it comes in as the same. It starts out the same as everything else, but then it just has the 353 tag here for a second, and then it I don't know what trustybard equals means. Oh, trustybard is the account that's joining the channel binary, and so I guess what it's basically like telling us like who's there. I don't know why it like sometimes it tells us this way and sometimes it tells us through join part messages, but like oh yeah, so what I do about that is when I'm parsing when I'm parsing text, I have just with this little extra line that says like here I'll put it oh yeah. Oh yeah, to everyone who says I never use comments, this is me using a comment. Like I'm totally using a comment here. Um, so, uh, so else if wait, hold on, let me unindent this a little bit. Else if uh, player init and tsplit. What is player init? Oh, player init means if we haven't initialized the player list yet. So if player init, like if we're still trying to initialize the player index or player directory, then uh, the we just look for tsplit is how I split up these lines, and we look for 353, and yes, 353 is a magic number from IRC question mark. That's how I use comments, and so we just chop that up and we add all those players because I don't know why it does it that way, but it does, and yeah. It's I'm really yeah, because like the thing about yeah, maybe, I don't know if I don't know enough about your project to know if this is relevant to yours. In my project, like players are relevant regardless of whether they're actually doing anything or not, because there's the passive experience system, and so in order to manage the passive experience system, um, like I can't only pay attention to the characters who are actually participating. I have to pay attention to characters regardless of whether, or I have to pay attention to everyone in the channel regardless of whether they're actively participating or not. Um, I mean, I don't have to. I could just cut that system, which is what I was thinking of doing back before I set up all the join part stuff. But instead, I did it, and it's not. I mean, it's literally a magic number. It's not. It's not. I'm not doing anything wrong. It's literally like this is verbatim. Like this is all I'm doing with the oh I closed it, but like all I'm doing with this stuff is I'm verbatim printing what what the data comes in. What this is the data that comes in from IRC, and I'm verbatim printing it. 353 is literally a magic number. It's not magic. Like I'm not disenchanting it. If you're saying I should like if you're saying I should like hunt down whoever like set up this system and like forcefully like change their code, like I don't typically do that. I mean, if I could do that, the world would be a very different place. But like it's literally a magic number. It's a magic number, and I can take it or leave it. And I'm making this game, so I'm going to take it because sure, there are certainly worse things in the world. Um, okay. Uh, so yeah. The these messages. I mean, I could do. The other thing I could do is like. I was just gonna say I could do two messages per level. I could do one that's one that pertains more directly to the item, and one that is a little more abstract, and then I could like choose randomly which of the two. Nah, I don't. Nah. All right. I am I really gonna do the gifts right now? Cause like the gift that part is gonna be no, I guess it'd be fine. I guess. I mean. um. All right. Let me. I'm not making any progress right now. So. So Cape. Um. You find an armband inscribed with symbols. Uh, no, I'm just not feeling this right now. Maybe I will do the gifts. Maybe I'll. I don't know if there's. I think there's not going to be a super easy way to do the gifts though. I mean, like what I have to do is I have to like decide what the backing will be. I know like roughly what. So like the gifts. The gifts are basically going to be all right, where's the game image itself? Sorry, one second. Whoops, that's the wrong one. I'm just gonna take a screenshot of the game real quick, and so file, new key, paste this. Oh, I only got part of it. Whatever. So yeah, so so when you level up, I was thinking I'd basically like take images like this of each of the item sets, and then when you level up, like I would take two images. I would take a screenshot in each of the poses, and I'd make a GIF. Excuse me, out of the 2 frames of animation. And so if you're on Twitter and you couldn't immediately jump to the channel and see what your character looked like, the sorry, I was just catching up on chat. What do they mean with 353? It's a mystery to everyone. I mean, if you look at some of the other output, sorry, just jumping back to the 353 thing real quick. If you look at some of the other output adjacent to the 353 stuff, you get there are like some other magic numbers there too, like there's 353, there's like 375, there's 372. I don't they're not sequential, they're not sensical. Oops, I was moving this bar around. And yeah, whatever, that's fine. Okay. So yeah, so for these gifts, I still like I haven't really decided exactly what to do with the with like the background, because I don't think I want it like most of the backgrounds are like I don't know. I might want to make a new simple background that's literally just like a dirt path, and like I don't know. I was thinking of possibly even like just not having any background at all, just having a like a flat color kind of thing. Because like the emphasis is supposed to be on the character art here. Oh, and I was thinking of possibly doing like the green and yellow like the green and yellow like level up flashy thing. Uh, but hmm. um, I don't know. No, that's. I mean, that is something that it would be nice to have. I just don't really want to do it right now. I guess. Like it's like down the line, it would be nice to do. I think I will do it at some point. Um, I'm super. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna step away from the keyboard for like a very brief amount of time, like 2 minutes or so. I'll be right back, and then I'll get started on something. I still don't know exactly what, but I'll put side quest in away mode so that it'll play while I'm gone. And yeah, sorry, I won't be gone long at all, but just 1 moment. Be right back. Sorry for the delay. Yeah. So I I don't know exactly how per se, but I think yeah, protospasm. Um, One of my favorite things is when people like actually like type out the words, like actually like what protospasm did. Because it totally works, and Amuse too. um, yeah. While I was stepped away, it was occurring to me. I think one of the things that I've talked about for the game that I haven't really put any I haven't really done anything with, or I haven't like it's a direction that I haven't really gone with the game yet. But like I talk about it every now and again. Is I kind of want to I want to set up like slightly. I don't know. I guess like well yeah. So part of the reason I haven't really taken any action with it is because I still don't know exactly what it would be like I don't know quite what I'd want to do per se, but like I think it'd be cool if there was like different ways that the event systems could play out. Like right now it's I can control it through I can control it through the secret control panel. Um and like there can be guest GMs who play through chat, and there's the spontaneous event system, but like I kind of want like I like the spontaneous event system, but I kind of want to I think I also want like something between the two. Like I kind of want a way to like because like earlier today like I kept feeling like oh I should be like creating events through the control panel, but like at the same time I was like I wasn't like I was feeling like I should, or like I was feeling like it was time for me to do that, but I wasn't like feeling I wasn't personally feeling it myself. So I don't know, it'd be cool if there was like something like some way that I could like kind of like set that up in advance, or basically what I'm thinking of is like scheduling that sort of thing. So like because like my goal is like roughly every 2 hours to have like one of these manually generated events, but uh yeah, I don't know what it is that I want exactly. I want the game to. I kind of want to like now that the game like most of the game systems are like working and like functional now. One of the things that I kind of want to focus on is making like I don't know like back in December I basically said like arbitrarily like the game was going from like alpha to beta, and like that wasn't really true. Like it was moving from like one stage to another stage, but like this game has not been beta for the past however many months, for the past month and a half or 2 months or whatever. um so like I'm definitely gonna say like the game is now going from like beta to like release or anything, but like I feel like it should be taking like a step, create a control panel to allow future events or scheduled events. Um, I was thinking it probably wouldn't be a control panel sort of thing. It'd probably be done in data, because it's not the sort of thing I'd be doing when the script was running. Because if the script is running, I can always just use the secret control panel. I was thinking I would like basically like yeah. So the way the events are set up right now, they're just in a big bucket, right? There's just a bucket of events, and they all have like the data pertinent to that event, and so I was kind of thinking like I could set up like a longer text file. Like I could like basically like put multiple events in, and I could have like some way of specifying like direction. So like I could like the events could be conditional. So like if you do this one, then you do this one, then you do this other one, and like branching paths, and like because like some of the events are very some of the events are very much uh you accomplish something, and then you've accomplished that thing, and then the thing is accomplished or whatever. But other ones are like you have to make a choice, and so like they kind of could go in like different directions. I don't do that as much with these events here. Like these ones, these like the spontaneous events, they tend to be entire like small events unto themselves. I mean, partly because there has been no connectiveness between them. So like, I could, I guess like, I don't mean I don't necessarily. want to change anything that we have going here, but I was thinking like possibly like starting like to make like webs, maybe using some of these maybe using some of these events that already exist, but basically like I mean like I've talked about this before also in the context of like the environments, because like I could like I could basically just like start like everything is very rather arbitrary at this point, or not like arbitrary, but everything is like it's a little mishmashed, which again I don't mind. Like I kind of made it that way because it amused me. Um, yeah, so like yeah, kind of like right. So instead of literally, so the example Protospasm says is like a choose your own adventure campaign tree, and yeah, so it wouldn't like literally say like flip to page whatever, but like basically yeah, like the different action tags would kind of represent that in a way, and actually not even the action tags themselves, but like the outcomes of the events. Um, and so then like the other thing I could be doing is I kind of just want to organize the event system because it feels well, so I have a few goals. I want a lot more events. Like what are we? We're now at 22 items, but like I mean 22 items, 22 times 12. What is that? Calc. 22 times 12. 12 is roughly how frequently we have an event, a spontaneous event. So 22 times 12 is 264. Divided by 60 is 4.4. It takes 4.4 hours to go through all of the events once, but I stream for like 40 hours a week, so that's like I just want more. It's one of those things that I fairly frequently want to be making more of these, although like for whatever reason like I don't really crank these out. Like sometimes I get really hung up and it takes me a while. Other times I crank them out, but then Google Docs like introduces weird characters that like error in the script and stuff. um, Actually, I'm gonna check something real quick. I'm gonna copy this here. I'm just gonna check my source tree because the one thing that like there was these weird errors that were coming. There were these weird errors coming up in uh, in some of the event texts that had been copied from Google Docs. And what I realized when I was looking at source tree, my version control thing, is that the ones that had errors in them had like a weird extra character, like they had weird unrecognized characters in here. I don't know why they're not all showing up right now, but so like this one looks clean now. Oh, it's not gonna. Oh, I was like, why isn't it showing the whole file? But this is literally the whole file. Because this one looks clean. There's no weird characters in here. But like, so I'm just like, I don't know. I just wanted to look at it here because what was one of the other ones? Like, I'm pretty sure most of these should be fine. But like, I mean, like for most of the ones that I'd done that way, I eventually found an error with them. I think Malady was the one I most recently fixed. Ghosts looks fine. I've never seen a problem with ghosts. Or ghosts, as it were. Uh, yeah. All right. So yeah, I probably don't have to. I probably don't have to worry about that. Probably. Was there other one? It was ghosts. It was Oh, the no. I retyped the cricket one too. Did I? I think so. Maybe the cricket one was the most recent one that I. Yeah. Well, for whatever reason, maybe actually at this point I might have just like transcribed all of them again. I basically just retyped it again by hand, not using Google Docs. All right, so yeah, no, that's okay. That's probably fine. I'll just let's get rid of that. So yeah, I could make more events. Although considering how well I was doing at just like writing things earlier, I don't know how well that'll go necessarily. Um, uh, so if I was gonna like create, if I was gonna, yeah, so if I was gonna organize the events, how would I want to do that the most? Like I have like those ideas. I have like the ideas of like organizing the events based like to correspond to the background. So like for example, like I think the most common example I give is pirate ship in the cave. like you don't find many pirate ships in underground caves. Um, so I mean, yeah, I guess that level of organization would basically be like I would be tagging specific events to not take place in certain places. Like for example, I would tag the pirate ship to not take place in. Actually, no. I guess I could do it either way. I could either tag events to occur specifically in some environments. I mean, yeah, no. Well, I mean, the thing about that level of organization is that if I have like, let's say someday I have 10 different environments, and let's say someday I have like 100 different events, that would that'd be a lot of tagging because no matter whether I did it by like inclusive tagging, like whether I set it up by like tagging like these events can go in these environments or these events can't go in this environment, like that's a lot of tags to add. So I mean like that. So that is one level of organization because it's very well understood and like the like that like as I described it, that like could be a fine way to sort that data. It would be one that takes a lot, then requires a lot of annotation, and like it would also be like annotation on an ongoing basis because then like every time I make a new event, I'd have to think like, okay, what environments can it work in, what environments can't it work in, and I think that for the most part, like I think most events would work in most environments, but which is why I was thinking of exclusive tagging, but then like yeah, I mean maybe that's fine, maybe that's oh, but no, actually no. Well, yeah, I don't know how I'd want to keep that data because, like, if I have 100 events, every time I add a new environment, I'd kind of want to go. Like, if I'm doing exclusive, like, yeah, no matter how I'm doing it, when I add in a new environment, I'd kind of want to go back and check, like, which ones do, which ones don't work. So, hmm, I yeah, so one of the other manners of organization is like the choose your own adventure, like branching story trees. That one's that one would take a lot of tech, right? Because right now all I'm doing is like I'm just picking a random number that corresponds to the index of an event, and that's how that works. So if I were to change that, how would I be changing it? Like uh, so oh, did that sorry, I just noticed that someone else linked their account. Oh, sorry. I guess what um Pema, I don't know if you know this, but if a bot or if your bot spams, it'll get hard banned for 8 hours. Like you can't appeal the ban, but after 8 hours, you can. Oh, but actually no. If you're botting on a separate account, then wow, that's that's hardcore. I'm sorry to hear that, Fema. Um. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So sorry. Yeah. So I guess it would be nice to have like like the like some it would be nice to have some level of like with the branching event trees. It would be nice to have like that like in between sort of thing because right now like the game is either like completely spontaneous when it's led just by this like random events pool, or it's like completely guided when like there's literally a person running the show. And sometimes it'd be nice to have it not such a split. So like um I kind of think of like the organization of like environments and and events versus the like the branching like ordering of quests is like basically all part of like I mean like I kind of want them for the same reasons because I think it will add like it will you know I don't want to call it structure because like structure isn't like a fun thing per se, but I think well no I mean I don't know I think it'll add structure in a way that's not boring. Not like boring structure, like good structure. No, um, I I guess between the two, the one that like so hypothetically, I'm either going to add those things or not, and if I were to add those, I think I'd probably want to do the linearity thing first. I think between yeah of those features, I think I should I guess I should just add these to the backlog because like why not? Uh, Um, so like so like I'll call it like event chains as like events that can like predictably go events that can happen in like a predictable order, not necessarily like a fixed order, but like so like whether it's like literally just like a linear chain of events or whether it's like branching web of events, like something along those lines. And of course, yeah. So when I add that in, I'll have to figure out exactly how I want to organize that data, like how I want to set up that data, and because I think like, huh, yeah, no, there are a lot of different ways that I could do that. Because like, yeah, no, even with just with event chains, like I could either have like the event chains as like, I mean, yeah, they're kind of like they kind of fit between the spontaneous like the prescribed like I really need to come up with a consistent way to describe the different events because like I was calling the ones that Trusty Bard picks like spontaneous events, but like by that definition, like the ones using the secret control panel are actually also spontaneous events because they're written spontaneously. I don't know. Uh, maybe um, I'll say the like the computers events or like the random events. I'll say, but actually the whole goal is like to make them slightly less random or like you know make the randomness make it the good part of random without like the yeah just like the best random it could be. So yeah, I'll just call those random, whatever. Um, yeah, like with event chains, like I could actually implement those. I mean, because they're kind of like halfway between the halfway between the like my events and or no, that's not even. They're all technically my events. The live events versus the random events. I could do it either way. Like it could be like they could be uh, random event or they could be event chains that or they could be both actually. They could be event chains that the system sometimes chooses. Like sometimes it just pulls from like the general pool of like one-off events, and sometimes it pulls from like a series of events that yeah no that seems fine. Um, Actually maybe these don't have to be different things. Oh yeah, you know what I could do is huh I could oh yeah, you know what I should do is oh I know what I should do. All right, so I'm gonna sorry. Probably the first thing that I'll do, like in the interest of moving in these directions, is I will save. I'm gonna save out the events that are generated through the secret control panel. So like save uh, live events. Uh, uh, because yeah, it was just occurring to me like I can I think I'm actually gonna do this right now, or I think it'll be the next thing I do. Like not immediately because I'm still thinking this through a bit, but yeah, no, I think the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save live events. So like when I'm writing these events and I'm like adding them to adding them through this control panel, um, I right now they happen and then they just kind of like fade into into history. One thing I could do is like I keep saying, I need to be writing more of the events for like the for the prescripted events like these ones here. So like I could so instead of like okay, so yeah, sorry. We have like this so I have this distinction of like roughly every 12 minutes I think is the appropriate timing to have an event occur. But only like roughly every 2 hours do I think is like necessarily an appropriate time for Trusty Bard to like tweet out a new event because like if I tweet more than like once every 2 hours, like that's a little bit like no one's gonna. I don't like following people who tweet more than 2 hours, more than once every 2 hours because it just gets like really like. Oh wait, Indecisive Entity, how's it going? Welcome. Uh, uh, um, yeah. So the other thing about the Twitter account is I like thinking of it as like kind of like the storyline, like the definitive history. Because fun fact, back before this game had like basically anything, the original concept of this game, like before there was anything like along the lines of like a character system or like like experience or levels up or anything like that. But actually, this was even before the event system was even in place. I was thinking of character progression as like strictly narrative, like instead of um instead of like gaining experience points or like anything along those lines, what you would gain is essentially like the text of this like the narrative itself. So for example, someone who played a lot would have like a very long like volumes and volumes of like story to like their like player history or whatever. um so like their story like of this adventure would have been very full and very detailed, whereas someone who stopped in here and there, they would have like they would have like a more sporadic sort of player history. That was like I never actually I probably didn't ever even talked about that on stream. It was kind of like back before I knew what this game was going to be like in any regard. Like those were kind of some of the directions I'd been planning on taking it. So I was really pleased when I set up the Twitter account and like without even really thinking of it, I started to kind of get like some of that same sort of like linear narrative, not even linear, but like that same like you know consistent narrative. Like it would kind of start to pile up in that way, or it started like accumulate in that way, and so I liked that. And uh, I don't forget to read messages. Oh wait, how did you send it through? Oh shoot, if you send me a message through Twitch, yeah, I'll have to remember. I'm not gonna forget, but yeah. It was great to have you here, Amuse. I hope to see you again in the near future. And I'm really bad at remembering to read my Twitch messages, but I'll give it a shot. I'll see what I can do. Um, yeah. So okay. So at this point, like I'm kind of thinking of the events as on happening on like two different time scales: the 12 minute and the 2 hour. And like with the 2 hour, as like the 2 hour is like the 2 hour is like kind of special to me because of that, because of like how I originally conceived the game, and how how's that there's that whole aspect of the game that never really I never really implemented. But still, I don't know, like that was the vision that kind of like drove me to start on this project in the first place. So the fact that like something reminiscent of it is now getting realized, I like that. I really like that. um um yeah, Twitter, I do respond to Twitter a lot. Thank you, Amuse. I do respond to Twitter a lot better, just because it gives me notifications, so I actually remember to check it. Yeah, I don't get notifications with Twitch. I don't know. It's an interesting system. Okay. Yeah. So I guess right. So saving live events. I'm thinking that's like one thing I want to do. But so the weird thing about that is that like just the event text is not sufficient. So like I actually couldn't make like one of these prescripted events just by saving live events, like because what's output from this control panel like is not complete data. Like the other thing that you need for the prescripted events is the prescripted outcomes, because like with the secret panel, there's not really any explicit outcomes. It's just like a series of events, right? Um, uh, uh, so uh, uh, the 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 I completely lost my train of thought. um, oh yeah, yeah. So the additional data. So right. So even if I'm saving out this data, it wouldn't be getting saved directly into like the it wouldn't be getting saved out to this folder where like could get read in as a regular event. It would basically just be like a way of annotating some of that so that like some of the events that could fit here or could translate easily to this format would be ready. It'd be a starting point because basically like when writing these events I kind of need all the help I can get. and then and then so the ones that don't work exactly as this in this format as like isolated like one-off events, those I could string together as event chains hypothetically. Like I could use those little like seed files to like I could adapt into a new then if I had event chains then so because it was occurring to me, right, so I got started thinking about this because it was occurring to me that event chains kind of like are a little bit halfway between the two, and so they could literally be halfway between the two. Like they could literally be the product of one and the like the evolution of the other, I guess. So yeah, I like if you've watched the stream before, you might notice that I like things that uh, are worth more than just what they are. Kind of like um, I like that. I like this feature because one of the things that this game really lacks right now is volume of story, and for a very story driven game, that's a significant problem. So yeah, I hadn't really been thinking about this stuff. Like literally what was it, like 15 or 20 minutes ago when I took that 2 minute break. Like I'd literally not really been thinking about any of this stuff beforehand, but like as soon as I stepped away from my computer, my brain just immediately was just like grinding like what really does this game need right now? And I think this is it. So I will almost certain. So I've save live events. I'll stop just like jawing at some point. Um, I try not to just talk to the camera, because it doesn't, like, I don't know. When you think of game dev, you probably don't think of like talking to a camera. Like you don't think of like, oh, that's game dev, right? To me, this is actually one of the most important parts of game dev. I work independently, so if you consider like, what if I was working instead of independently, like working on a small team? Of course, like, teams don't just like never communicate and just like work independently and then magically a game happens. Like teams like are constantly like figuring this stuff out, and so I don't know. I guess like I technically could do all of this in my own head, but I I feel like it's appropriate to do in this format because I think this is an important part of game development. So just the fact that the fact that I'm a solo game developer right now doesn't change the fact that you know if you're going to understand what game development is, like I feel like this is in fact a very important part. Um, so the other thing I'd mentioned, just while I'm in the backlog, the other thing I'd mentioned was like the organization of quests, and I would like that because right now like the story and the visuals for the game and the story of the game are like almost completely disparate. Fun fact: once upon a time, every event was going to have graphics. Was going to have, oh my gosh! Once upon a time, every event in the game was going to have a ridiculous number of like scenes drawn for it. If you go back in the history of the stream archives. Yeah, yeah, protospasm. The camera talk is definitely like rubber duck programming. I mean, like everything I do here is like rubber duck programming. But like, yeah, this is like this is like everything that would just be happening in my own head. But yeah, out loud, which is helpful sometimes. It's sometimes better. Um, for the for the event of the bridge with the vines, like there's the bridge and there are the vines, and you can either cross the bridge or you can swing across the vines. Uh, I actually did the art for that once, sort of. I started it. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I just have to look it up real quick because it was so. What I very quickly realized is it was taking so long, and like so. What Oh, it's gonna take me forever to find this. I should not. Oh wait, I'm already back in December. When was it? When was it that I actually drew this? This was back before I drew the environment art, I think. Whoa. Oh, now I'm too far back. All right, I won't actually try and look at it. I won't actually try and look it up, I don't think. But uh wait, new visuals. Was that? Sorry. um New visuals. No, I think it was before that. But all right, no, no, I won't actually find it. But cripes, did it take me forever to to actually come up with anything. They That was the last time that like I actually really tried to integrate the graphics together very closely. And so maybe that's like what maybe I think that's so because there's been no such like correlation between like the visuals and the game itself, apart from the fact that the action tags show up on screen. I guess that is one of yeah. That's I guess that's more like to the reason that I want to like organize events and or actually yeah maybe so organizing events and the visuals. Yeah, no, organize events and environments. It's still something I want to do, and I get it's definitely I don't know. It shares some things with well, so okay, so I guess the main reason I want to start thinking about organizing events and environments, in addition to these event chains and other things, is that while I'm working on the events, like it's good to like have in mind the other goals that I'll have for these systems, so that like, for example, I don't accidentally like make it impossible to do this down the line, or even better, maybe it'll be maybe like as I'm working on these other things, like I'll find some thing that will make it easier to. Oh, hey, Elite Proxy, how's it going? Welcome. Um, maybe yeah. So maybe as I'm working on like some of this like saving live events and event chains, like maybe I'll come up with some way that the organizing events will be simpler or like somewhat simplified. It could happen. I mean, actually, not even just in the sense of organization, but like there might be some reasons that like I actually want some events to be very yeah, like so. When I was talking earlier about like either tagging events to occur in an environment or not occur in an environment, there are reasons that I'd want to do either. Like it could be that some events like just don't make sense in certain contexts, but then it could be that some events like I specifically like I want them to be so particular that I only want them to occur in a certain environment. So like, I mean, if I had that level of specificity over like how the event system works, that could be cool. Like I might actually like that. It might add a dimension of like yeah. I'm still on the fence about it because it could just be a whole bunch of clerical like bookkeeping like organization stuff that I don't care for. But it could also be it could I don't know. I might like it. I might actually um, um, it might be a significant improvement. So uh yeah. What oop. Sorry. I just wasn't thinking about anything. I had one of those like, those moments where you just like reflexively like click on something, like nothing's actively going through your mind, so you just like autopilot to, yeah. Whoops. All right. Yeah. So the first thing I'm gonna do, like I was saying, is I'm gonna save out. I'm gonna save live event text. Because why not? Um, so yeah, the way I'll do that, I'm gonna make a new folder for it. Or no, you know what I'm gonna do is huh. I could I could organize this a few ways. Like so the way the event system is, or the way the event folder is organized right now, there's like hypothetically like this folder structure would represent like authorship. Uh, uh, so but yeah, so right now the folder structure is supposed to represent like authorship because like I talked about a little bit yesterday. I was thinking of setting up or I'm kind of in the process of setting up like a form for which like anyone who felt like it could submit events for SideQuest. Um, oh, and actually, now that I think about it, if I'm changing the way this event system works, then this form to submit events would probably I'd want to change that a bit as well. Um, um, excuse me. Yeah, that's something I'd want to keep in mind, I guess. Um, the Yeah, so hypothetically, if when there are multiple authors, there would be like different folders here. I guess actually for now, I'm just gonna save this stuff. I'm just gonna make a new folder for it or something. Gosh, some of this stuff I should reorganize. Like, there's just a lot of folders here where there don't really have to be. Like, cause like some of this stuff, like, well, I mean, I guess it's hard to tell, but like, facts, never used. Like, not ever used, really. Uh, Nope. Oh, okay. Well, it's a good thing that facts aren't ever used because I just realized that the way it's organized is not exactly right. Actually, did I fix that? Hold on, let me double check something real quick. Oh yeah. Did oh yeah. I was just okay. So sorry. The folder that this is like kind of a tangent, but the folder I just deleted corresponds to a Twitter account. Specifically, it corresponds to my Twitter account, and that's because my account is linked. My Twitch and Twitter accounts are linked, and uh, thank you, Killer Q. Yeah, I could probably have a better organization system, but I do try and at least, keep things relatively sane. No, this folder corresponds to my Twitter account because my Twitch and Twitter account are linked, and specifically my Twitter account was the primary account. So when I made myself GM, it used like the real name conversion to find out that this was like the name of my account, and so it set up a new folder for it because it automatically sets up this folder when someone becomes GM. That made so my first thought was like, oh, I should make sure that it always uses the Twitch name. And then my immediate second thought was, or I could make it so that Twitter users could act as GM, which is what made me laugh. Because I could make it so that you wouldn't have to play like so what would happen there is weird. Because what would happen there is if you're GMing through Twitter, I don't necessarily think that I'm going to do this per se, but I could because if you're GMing through Twitter, all you have to do is all you'd have to do is tweet your tweet the stuff at well, I was gonna say at Trusty Bard, but I'd probably do it a different way. I'd probably just have it like, oh, I don't know how I'd do that. I'd work on that. I'd figure it out. Because well, so yeah, the gist is basically that like so okay, so a Twitter account is the GM, right? So they tweet an event text or like whatever commands to like uh run the game, and or like but the commands that a GM uses to run the game, and then um Trusty Bard on Twitter wouldn't do anything because guest GMs don't tend to operate the Twitter account, but Trusty Bard in Twitch would relay the message from Twitter, and the event would be created as per usual, and wouldn't that be fun? Okay, wait. Actually, this hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say this. Yeah, no. You know what? Can you accidentally GM and tweet hashtags? Oh, GM is a very specific thing because players only GM if I use my secret control panel to make them GM. There is sorry, my sock is like annoying me, which is why I keep leaning off camera. But sorry. There is another mode where I can appoint someone as like a leader, whereby they can take the GM crown whenever they want it. And oh, speaking of the GM crown, something just occurred to me. Uh, uh, yeah, you wouldn't have to worry about doing it accidentally because even the people who can GM whenever they want, they have to input a specific command in order to initiate GM, in order to like basically take the reins. And there's another command for them to relinquish the reins. So it's only when they have like it's only while they're wearing the crown that the game responds to that event. And actually, I guess yeah. I mean, if I was gonna go feature parity, then I guess I could implement that same command for. Actually, no. You know what? I wouldn't do that for the. I probably wouldn't do that for the Twitter user because in order to because that okay. So yeah. So you can only take the GM crown if no one is GM at the time, and well, no. I mean, I guess I could do this. Like with if someone tried to take the crown through Twitter, like Trusty Bard would just have to let them know, like, oh, pardon, you can't do that right now. Someone else is acting as GM. I guess that'd actually be fine. Why not? um, I guess. Oh, weird. Well, oh yeah. So you know what? Huh. I guess. Right. So my first thought was like, yeah, Trusty Bard wouldn't actually tweet anything about that. But maybe Trusty Bard would do in Twitter in that case what he does in Twitch in the case of like a Twitch GM. Because in Twitch GM, like okay, so like when so usually Trusty Bard is the one telling the story themselves, but with a guest GM, Trusty Bard instead of telling the story himself, just kind of like says yes, right, like correct, good job, current GM. Just basically like to indicate to everyone that like who is GM and like whose commands to like pay attention to and that sort of thing, and also to tell the GM when the commands are registering correctly. But I guess Trusty Bard could do something like that on Twitter. In the case of a Twitter GM, like you know, because like I was just trying to think like, wait, so how would someone on Twitter play, if yeah, so if playing on Twitter could like if a Twitter GM could only play the game for Twitch players, that seems a little weird. Like that, I don't know. I think like ideally you'd want a Twitter GM to be able to run the game for anyone. Uh, so I guess like it's a weird sort of organization because like I wouldn't want I really want to keep I know this is silly, but I really want to keep I really want to keep Trusty Bard's timeline as the story. So like I really want what like the tweet history, because I was thinking like so like the replies are like the replies are used for like a lot of different things, like leveling up, link messages. Hey, congratulations on on level 10, Jocko. Um, uh, uh, so yeah, so I guess like hypothetically, like if there was a Twitch or a Twitter GM, like uh, Trusty Bard could like at reply the GM to indicate like all that stuff. Uh, um, the the yeah. So the in the case that like someone was acting as a Twitter GM, the only real way to notice that that was all going on is if you followed both that person and Trusty Bard, because that person would be well, no, I guess like no, you wouldn't have to follow Trusty Bard necessarily, because that person wouldn't necessarily have to start their tweets with at Trusty Bard. And yeah, this could work, I guess. I mean, the one awkward thing is that like in order to initiate an event, oh yeah, yeah, oh well, all right, it'd be a little weird. It'd definitely be a little weird because like you'd either have to fit all of your events in like fewer than 140 characters. And when I say fewer than 140 characters, I mean because you need you need some extra text to indicate that this is actually happening. Um, I so I'm thinking through like how this would work. I might I'm about to like I'm the phrase that I'm not actually saying right now is that I might refrain from actually doing it right now. And I'm if I refrain from doing it right now, it's because like no one has actually expressed interest in necessarily taking on this role. But then like I don't know. That hasn't really been my approach to Twitter. My approach to Twitter has been like I'll make this game playable on Twitter. Yeah, like right, because no one on Twitter necessarily has a reason to want to take on this role right now, per se. So that might not necessarily dissuade me. I might do this anyways. I'm gonna add, regardless. I'm gonna add this to the backlog. So like guest GMs via Twitter. Uh, and yeah, and then I don't know. I'll probably for now I'm probably gonna not think can like there's it's interesting to think about because there are a lot of like puzzles there, but I'm probably not gonna spend any more time thinking through it right now. I'll wait. Um, I'll wait till I'll wait till I'm actually like ready to start on it or like getting closer to that stage because I know saving live events is like the thing that I want to do most right now. Uh, yeah. Oh man, this game is so meta. Like this game is so meta. Or like I don't know. It one thing I one thing that has been very strange about working on this game is working on this game while this game plays. Um, but I guess like I kind of did that to myself. Like I just made it a little like I don't know. I just invited like a level of confusion there with you know how I set up this stream because it was just occurring to me like I could at some point I could while running live events I could also well so like the idea with saving the live events is that I could then adapt them into events for the event system. So that's literally something I could do on stream hypothetically is like adapt those events. Um, which is it's funny to me that it's just I don't know. It's coming together. Like I like it. It's like it's a good sort of funny, but it is definitely a funny sort of thing. Um, excuse me. All right, so I should get to this. I guess yeah. So the organization probably doesn't matter hugely. I could excuse me. Oh. I could do what? I yeah, I think I'll just have like a maybe I'll put this in the game data folder or something. So like I'll have a new folder. 'Hey, we got a new follower. I cannot read that. What does that say? I literally can't read that. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Alex, welcome. Thank you very much for following. I appreciate your viewership. I should like move that text or something to a place where I can read it. Because when it's on like a light background. All right. uh, excuse me. Okay, yeah, I don't have to worry. I don't have to worry much about what. Oh yeah, the I never read this text in, so I'm just gonna call this I'm just gonna call this like raw event, uh, raw events or something like that. Yeah, because all we ever do here is we just write out events, and so I guess like we're probably just gonna name the files like like a timestamp, and then a timestamp and the action tags, because that should be enough to like sort it. So like what will happen is like the if I'm naming them based on the timestamps and putting in the action tags, that'll be enough context cues where I'll be able to remember which is which when I come back to this folder and like sort through it or like parse through it. Um, uh, oh, funny you should mention the top of the screen. This top of the screen killer. I am thinking of using graphics on the top of the screen because right now, right, like side quest is all along the bottom of the screen, and then like literally everything other than like the bottom strip of the screen is just like not side quest. It's all like it's either me or like there's that thing that shows up every now and again. But like, yeah, I was thinking of using the top bar. I don't know. I was thinking of using. I mean, the gist was I was thinking of using more of the screen space. I was thinking of like doing something else. I don't know what I don't know. Maybe I should literally use the sides of the screen. One of the things that I had to give a lot of really like one thing that I had to give a lot of thought to. Oh, hey, congratulations, whoever just leveled up. One thing I had to give a lot of thought to was how the name of the game is Side Quest, and the game takes place across the bottom of the screen. I mean, technically, it's taking place across the bottom side of the screen, kind of, but like I don't know. I was thinking like if it's called Side Quest, it should use the sides. It should use the sides of the screen. So I mean, I could if I felt like it. Maybe that would be good. Maybe it because like right now, actually yeah. All right, while I'm like analyzing the game and like this is basically my I'm gonna call this like my sprint review or whatever. That's what I'm doing right now. Is because I'm basically like looking holistically at like what the game needs and like thinking about it in ways that like because like if you're when you're like working on like individual things and you're working on like task after task after task, like sometimes you kind of like lose the forest for the trees, as it were. And so yeah, I because the other thing like when I look at the visuals of the game, the other thing is that like I kind of wish there was like some sort of like some way in which like the graphics like were a little more like I don't know. I think there are definitely ways that the graphics could fit tighter with the layout of like the stream entirely. I mean, one simple thing I could do, one thing I have considered doing, and one simple thing I could do is I could I don't even necessarily have to add another graphic to the game to like change the graphics of the game necessarily because like I mean one of the other things like one thing that I was thinking of doing hold on I have what is it where's let's open this real quick and I can close this for now. I'm not actually doing that at least not right now. So file yeah wait hold on yeah no new file width 1920 height let's call it height of like 200 I guess. So gradient tool, where's the gradient tool? Here it is. So gradient tool between this bluish color, sure, and then the other color should be perfectly alpha'd, zero transparency. Actually, I don't want it to be exactly this blue. I want it to be, because this is like the blue that comes in a can. When you, yeah, actually, what blue would I want it to be? Sorry, I'm just gonna, I just need to put the graphics on screen so I can see, like, just for comparison purposes. Alright, so like, so yeah, what blue would it be? It'd be like a light blue. It wouldn't be actually it wouldn't be perfectly saturated. It'll be a little desaturated because I want this to be a background color. It'll become a little more clear in just a second what I'm accomplishing here. All right, so yeah, something like this I think would probably be fine. Oh no, I should use the color from the logo. Um, yeah, no, definitely I should use the color from the logo. uh, oh yeah, that was a much lighter blue than I remembered it. All right, well that's fine. Um, all right, so logo. Yeah, no, I should use this color because doop doop. Where is it? Color picker tool. Yeah, there we go. All right. Right. So wait, where'd the color palette wheel go thing? Okay. All right, good. So yeah, right. So all right, select all. um, Gradient. Like so. Trying to make this as straight up and down as possible, but it's impossible to get it perfect, as I found with this program. So I'm going to make a new layer, copy the other layer, paste this layer here, and then yeah, that's definitely not even, right? But if you flip horizontal, then blam, perfectly even gradient. Secret hacksaw tricks. Alright, so say it. Oh, smoosh these together. Smoosh these together. And then file, save as, like skyline. I don't know. I'm not going to save it here. I'm going to just put it in my pictures for starters. Doop doop. Yeah, whatever. It's fine there. Okay, and then yeah. So right. So long story short, I was thinking like I could, so I could in OBS I could just add an image. Doop doop. So like sky, browse, doop doop, pictures, skylines. Okay. And then yeah. So wait. So this should go. Oh, order control down. So control, it should be underneath pretty much everything except for the monitor. Yeah. And then, right, so it's just like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'm necessarily going to like keep this right now, but like, I could do that, right? And now it's like, I don't know, it's just a little bit nicer maybe? Hold on, I'm going to make the screen look weird, but like, oh yeah. Well, so, alright, so I'd probably actually I probably want the gradient to be a little steeper. Like, I want it to be, like, blend over such a distance. But, like, I don't know. So, yeah, right, so I went this far with this, like, looking at this thing, because, the other thing I've been considering doing, or the other thing, like, so this is like one way that I could integrate. This is one way that I could actually like change the graphics of Journey without actually changing the graphics of Journey. I mean, the funny thing is that then when the script is not running, I'm not actually going to stop the script. I'm just going to hide the graphics for a second. Yeah, then I have this like blue bar across my layout, which is whatever. That's fine. But yeah, so in actuality, I'd want this to be. I want this to be like a little bit different. Actually, how does this look? How does this look with the with like the logo backgrounds? Actually, that looks kind of cool. That's not bad. I mean, there isn't that fade in the logo itself, so I might want to unify that so it looks consistent. But I don't know. Could be worse. Um, so yeah. Alright. So that's like one way that I could like change the graphics of the game, or like kind of like smooth out the graphics of the game. not necessarily using the graphics of the game themselves, like you know, just using like outside tools. But then like the other thing I could do is I could actually like I could well yeah, so I don't even know exactly how I would do it, but like I could take up I don't know. I was basically just thinking like I could frame the scene, frame the I think I am gonna do this. I think I'm gonna make this I'm gonna make the skyline look nicer and actually like use it, I think. So I'm going to select all and then yeah, right. So I don't need the gradient. I want the gradient to be a little steeper, but then I also want more space beneath it too. So uh, teamwork. Good job, guys. Um, yeah, and so then the other thing is right. So let's like just spill here. Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, and not even just that. Let's yeah. So actually, hold on. Let me. Sorry, I'm just gonna hide the graphics for a second. They're not actually doing anything to script. Yeah, I want to make it a little bit taller too. So like image, canvas size, like actually no, no, I won't make it taller yet. No, yeah, no, this is good for now actually. I'll just yeah save that. All right, so then doop doop. So sky, reload that. All right, and then yeah, no, I'm just gonna move it down a little bit. All right, so yeah, I don't know. I might make the gradient even tighter. Uh, so hey, congratulations, Protospasm! Congratulations on leveling up. Uh, is that well? All right, it's really hard to evaluate this new visual with with the by making this the screen all weird like that because when it stacks up like that. I guess I'll to really evaluate it, I'll have to look at it like later when I'm off stream. I feel like this is still too soft a gradient, so I'm gonna undo. I'm gonna tighten this up even more. Yeah, because I do want it to like there aren't any soft gradients in the game. So like the reason I'm not putting this in the game is and the reason there are no soft gradients in the game is because there can't be soft gradients in the game. But so I was thinking like this is one option to actually have a softer gradient. But I think because there aren't any soft gradients in the game, it looks a little weird to have this one. Um, and now it's too high, I think. Actually, sorry, I'm just gonna warp around a little bit just to see how this looks with other backgrounds. So like go to snow, for example. Like how would the snow look like with this? Or what would the snow look like? Yeah, I mean that works. Oh yeah, and if I make this much lower, then you won't see it in some of the backgrounds. And maybe that's okay actually, because maybe like you don't really need like the snow is the one environment that actually like kind of already has a sky to it. So uh, what about go to forest, execute. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna just make this the gradient seems okay. No, maybe it seems weird. I don't know. I mean, all right, I'm gonna try one more visual effect and I'm probably gonna deactivate it altogether. And then after the stream, I can go back and watch the archived video to see which of the visual effects I actually like or which, if any, I like. Actually, I should see what it looks like with like the IDE on screen. Um, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. All right, yeah, but so for one thing's for sure, I should bring this down a little bit, and yeah, maybe. So first thing, I'll just actually no, I don't even have to edit the file to bring it down a little bit. I can just literally drag this thing down. Oops. It keeps wanting to click to the bottom of the frame, but I don't know, like that. Uh, uh, and then oh yeah, so what does the cave look like? The cave might be weird. Or yeah, so go to cave, execute. Yeah, I mean the cave naturally looks weird. If it looks too weird, I could always extend the upper ridge of the cave. I could extend that up a little bit higher. Oh wait, could I? Oh no, I couldn't, because it has to get covered up by some. No, no, the front layer I could extend upwards, because the front layer. Yeah, no, the front layer I could extend upwards if I felt like it. Uh, but I don't know. The cave's just naturally gonna look weird. All right, and because I've checked all the other ones, I might as well go to river, just to see how that looks. Uh, how Oh yeah, and then sorry, I just want to see with the logo again. I don't know. It seems a little weird that like the gradient is like licking the bottom of these, just like licking the bottom of these characters. I mean, like I'm not done with the logo, so like who knows? Maybe I can continue to change it and it'll look good at some point. But I don't know. I think actually, all right. I'm gonna just try just a little bit more. So wait, undo, 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 undo. Let's try making this even tighter, so it's like actually very steep a gradient. Let's deselect, fill in below it, and then also shorten it a little bit. So the canvas size, let's anchor to the top and make it a height of like 180 instead. Or like, okay, so the visuals, yeah, the visuals of the scene are a height of 150 maximum. So this would be 30 characters above the scene, or 30 pixels above the scene. Um, Oops, did I anchor that the wrong way? No, that was correct. Yeah, okay. So like what are the top 30 pixels of this image? This is more than 30 pixels. So yeah, so the 30 pixels is literally the gradient itself. So in every environment, the gradient would be slightly visible. Whatever. Let's see how this looks. Uh, Sky. Alright, edit scene. Snap it to the very bottom of the image. Yeah, so like in like the river is the lowest. Like the river has the lowest horizon line, and so you see a lot of it here. um, if this was a permanent fixture, I could use it though. Like I could just put clouds in the background or something. Like I have clouds in the mountain. There's no reason I couldn't have clouds here too. The only reason I didn't put clouds before is because like typically they would look, a little bit odd, just floating across my screen. But like when the sky's there, like it would make a lot more sense to have them there. Um, all right, well, I'm just gonna sorry, just because. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna evaluate these graphics more closely. Uh, after the stream when I can watch this back in the archives. But just so that I have something to look at when I look at this back in the archives, I'm just gonna click to a few more of the environments. Go to snow. Yeah, 180 might still be too tall. Maybe I should go lower than 180. Because yeah, I never actually, I like basically never actually touched the top of like the 150th pixel of the environment art. So like it's actually more than 30 pixels on the top bar that will always be visible, or 30 pixels on the top of that image. Go to forest, and then I'll move on. I'll stop. I'll stop doing this. Um, so yeah, the other stuff that I was thinking of. I think earlier I mentioned one of the things I considered was oops, that's not what I meant to do. One of the things I'd considered for changing for like a graphic revision for revising the graphics of SideQuest is using something along the very top of the screen. Oh right, that's what got us on this tangent in the first place. The very top of the screen. I was thinking of using it like, well, one of the things I was considering was like having it like look celestial, like literally like you're looking off into space. I don't think that's quite right. I think that would be weird. I don't know. I might do something like that, but I don't think that's necessarily ideal or perfect because I don't think it, I think it would be, it would look very disconnected. Like you, I don't think you would look at it and think, oh hey, look, uh, that's totally, it's like that's totally part of the same thing. Like, oh look, there's space and there's like a forest. Like, look, a forest and space. Like, no. Um, I kind of want to see creep up the sides of the screen though. Like right now, it's just a flat band across the bottom of the bar, and I kind of want it to come like up the edges a little bit, so that it like, I don't know, just so that it like, I don't know, I really don't. And I mean, right now I'm not, I'm fairly decided on working on the saving the event system and like advancing that. So I'm probably not gonna do much with like trying out different visual effects right now, but it's definitely something to that I should probably do. I should probably come back to that. I should probably revisit it like intermittently. So I'm just gonna look at what it looks like without journey running, because like a lot of the times when I'm fixing bugs, it'll look like this, which I guess is fine. It's like it's a little weird, but whatever. Oh no, you know what I should do then is I should this is where I should put the text that says whoops, where'd journey go? It'll be right back. Or whoops, where did side quest go? Technical difficulties, please stand by. Or something like that. Um, all right. So yeah. All right. I'm gonna like I said, I can journey's not actually off. I just hid the visuals, but I'll bring that back and then I'll probably leave it off for now. Um, so then one of the other alternatives is that instead of instead of having the sky as like a separate thing outside of the program, I could actually render it within the game itself. Uh, the I don't know if there's actually necessarily any advantage to that. One of the disadvantages, well, I mean, like the advantage to having it separate from the game is that I can use a gradient. Um, but I don't actually really like the gradient super much. It looks out of place because SideQuest never uses gradients like that. Um, I don't know. If I did something like if I did other things like if like the top bar and stuff like that and like sidebars if I had those, um, I would want to do that. I would want to render that through the game because I would want it to be dynamic. I wouldn't want it to be like fixed. Like the sky is like a fixed color, right? And then so that's something that I could do out of the game. But yeah, pretty much everything else is like um, a bit more. I'd want it to be a bit more dynamic. I don't hate the skyline. I wish I could wait. Sorry. I'm just gonna tinker with OBS a second longer just to see if I can. Yeah. All right. I just want to get like a look at roughly roughly how that is. I mean, it's hard because like the bigger I make the OBS window, the less I can see of my screen to try and like get a sense of how it looks. But I don't know. That's not the worst thing. That could be nicer. Well, anyways, I've had this visual up for long enough that I'll be able to make a more informed decision later. But I think I actually might leave it up. I think I actually might I might leave that on for now. Yeah, I don't know. Uh, all right, so yeah. So all right, I don't have to keep looking at that. I will. I will. Yeah. So like I said before, I'm gonna save live events. I do think that's the priority right now. Uh, yeah. Um, so it's fairly straightforward too, because it's literally just taking the data that we already have and just adding in this extra bit where we just like slap it into a data file. a text file, and like all we have to really write are the first three lines because we know the event type, we know whether it's a multi-event, and oh, oh, that's interesting. Huh. Technically, I can change an event type while the script is running, or like while the event is running. Like it used to be that it got locked in at the front, but then I kept forgetting to set the event type, and so I had to I had to make it so that I could set it retroactively. Um, um, I don't know if I necessarily want to. Well, all right, yeah, no, I'll just I'll create the name of the I'll create the okay, yeah. So I'll just actually start doing this. So like there will be there will be what? Um, so where's Kurev? Yes, all this good stuff. Uh, uh, should I put this at the end? So like cur of file name equals a string, and then I'll just in case I have to edit so like I want to create this file when the event begins because sometimes the script will crash before the end of the event, and so I don't want to wait to save it at the end of the event. I mean, I could just save this at the end of the event. Um, oh, you know what? Actually, I will. I think because this might serve a dual purpose too. Right now, I just have to remember like how the previous event ended. So like so for example, the last event that I ran manually was the your path takes you to the edge of a goblin encampment. They look to be in the midst of a celebration. Will you look closer or keep distance? I happen to remember that the outcome favored keeping distance. But right now, I just have to remember that stuff. So maybe I'll write it at the end of the event, and I'll actually save that data too, because that could be useful. Could be useful. Is there another place that data should be? I wonder if there's another place that I should be keeping that instead. Um, hmm. Huh. I I'll have to think on that one. Because I was like, I don't know. Now that Twitter's here, I keep wanting to use it because like previously there were so many things that like whenever they came up about like data and feedback, I had to just like shut them out entirely because there was no way to like to like add more interactivity without spamming chat. And I don't know. Twitter in a lot of ways can be a workaround to those restrictions, but incidentally it also has like different restrictions of its own. So sorry, I'm not actually going anywhere. I'm going to mute the microphone for 1 second, but I'll be right back. Sorry, just 1 second. Sorry for the delay. All right, so uh, excuse me. I'm getting lazy. Hold on, I should work it out. Jog my brain back into gear, or to mix metaphors. Okay, so current event file name. No, yeah, we won't keep track of this. We'll just save this out at the end of the event. No, we'll just. Uh, yeah, no, I'll save it at the end of the event. Yeah, because like there is also Twitter. So like worst case scenario, if I lose some of this data, I can always like go. I can always go pull it off the timeline. So I don't need to keep track of any of this stuff. It'll just be, yeah, at the end of the event. Uh, what? Oh, I keep thinking like this little dot of here is my scroll bar, but no. Okay. So at the end of the event, uh, we'll do that like towards the very end, like once all the outcomes have been decided and all that good stuff. We can do it before. I guess we can do it here, right? Because this is when the outcome is decided. Oh, it's after. Yeah, no, this is as fine a place as any, I suppose. Uh, am I using Photoshop when designing? I tend to use Paint.net. I don't have Photoshop. I would use Photoshop if I had Photoshop, but I don't. So I use Paint.net for now. Uh, excuse me. Yeah, this is right after we process. Wait, is this? This is right after we process. Yeah, participation and all that stuff. So this is fine. So with open, this is gonna be a really simple task, I think. With open, so it'll be like game data. What do I call it? Like raw events. Game data slash raw events slash plus. So it'll be the string, or it'll be the string version of the int, or of the int version of the rounded version of frame time. Because frame time is a float, and we're going to round it, trim it so that it doesn't have the decimal places, and then convert it into a string, and then we're going to add in plus. Oh, actually no. I should create this up. I should create this before actually opening the file because I'm actually going to say, all right. So it's like raw ev file or fname or whatever equals this, and then plus or so then for actually, if I'm gonna loop over all of the items in the influence list anyways, I might as well leverage that. So I'll put this here, and then right, because when I loop over the items in the influence list, I want it to be like, hey, new follower, Jude Mitgas Mask. Welcome. Sorry for mispronouncing your name, but I appreciate your viewership. Welcome to the stream. I was like, I recognize some of these as words, but I'm not sure how they all go together. All right. Oh wait. Oh wait, this isn't the right time to. This isn't the right time to do this because this isn't looping over the entire list. That only loops over the. Yeah, wait. I can just do this a second earlier. Yeah, because this doesn't have to be sorted. This list doesn't have to be sorted. So for I in influence, whatever, raw ev, fname. Oh wait, and I don't want to do this for every event. Actually, well, I guess I'll put together the file name for every event, but I actually only want to do this in the case that, so like if I should really finish one of these lines before I keep writing like 10 new lines. So if curev dot live, right? Because this we're only doing this for live events. Oh, wait a second. Is it even just live events? Like, because like, no, I think well, I think every GM. I think live events. I think it's. maybe I should yeah, maybe I should sort this. No, I mean I was only really planning on keeping track of my own live events, but like, I mean hypothetically I could keep track of other GMs' live events. Like I mean especially I especially if there would be oh, I've been slacking on today really a lot, so I'm gonna actually help out this time. I'm going to contact uh, the yeah, I guess there'd be no harm in saving other GMs raw events, like in case, like you're right. So because if I'm setting up like the way the manner for like other players to like submit events, or for other players for other people to submit events to the game, then you know some GMs might appreciate. Well, actually, I was gonna say some GMs might appreciate having that, but I guess the GMs wouldn't have that. Only I would have that. So yeah, maybe I'll only maybe like when I create an event through the secret panel, maybe I'll tag it in like a separate in a different way. Um, I mean that's what Karev Live used to be. Um, it might be simpler though just to save everyone's raw events. And I guess why not? I don't know. So like yeah, I'll put them in different folders then, I guess. So kind of like we do with facts, like when we have a new GM. Uh, yeah, so when we init GM, so let's go there. Init GM. Uh, no, not that one. Not that one. Yeah. So, oh wait, what's the part where we? I thought this was the part where we create the facts folder. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay, so if not exists, facts. Yeah. So copy this, paste. Oh, actually, no. So down here, let's say, doop doop. So if not exists OF path. Oh, so okay. So this will be was it game data slash raw event events raw events, was it? I keep forgetting. Game data raw events, yeah. So there'll be a folder for each individual GM, uh, and um, and right. Oh yeah, I have to I have to name this correctly in both cases. And now, all right. So now, yeah. So now, whenever we save these out, we'll just save it in an individual GM's folder, and it'll be nicely organized. And then, I don't know. I guess if a GM does a particularly smashing job, maybe I'll just send them the raw data folder so that they can adapt it if they want. Or, yeah, I don't know. Okay, so, oh, excuse me. Yeah. Sorry. I, yeah, I don't, I don't have an excuse. I just yawn a lot. I, game dev is hard work, you know? I'm like, I'm like, oof, I'm really beat here. I'm like dying. No. Alright, so where was I before? I was like, I was down here, not here though, I was further down. I was at like this part. Uh, oh yeah, so raw f, oh yeah, I didn't even finish this part. Raw of f name, plus equals, an underscore character, followed by, oops, what was that? I have no clue what just happened. An underscore followed by everything except the first character of II. So II indexed from the first character to the end. And that's because the first character is the pound symbol. And I don't know if you're allowed to use pound symbols in file names. Even if you are, I don't think I want to use pound symbols in file names. I don't. Game data isn't the right folder for this. I'm gonna where do I want this instead? I could just put it like I could just put it in events, I guess, or like I don't know. I mean, the events folder was going to be the reason I was looking at this earlier is because the events folder is going to be sorted by author anyways, and like if we're sorting these by author, then like it kind of makes sense to put it there. But I don't know. Um, hey, Respect Controllers, how's it going? Welcome. Uh, yeah, how you been? Um, it has been a while, huh? um, the reason I look over here whenever I'm talking to people is because that's where my chat panel is located. So to me, this is where you guys are located. Although I guess to you, this is where you're located. Hey. I can't even see my camera. I'm using a laptop, and it's like I know it's like it's on the top bar. Oops, sorry for waving my finger in front of it. I assume it's in the middle, but like I can't actually like see where it's like. I just assume I'm looking at the camera. Hey. Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, we're working on side quests. This game here, um, and we are specifically we're beefing up the event system because I really want I really want the game to feel like it has more weight to it. Like it has more weight behind it. Like I don't know. Right now it's very light, and I've always intended it to be a very light experience because like it's not supposed to be a major distraction. It's supposed to be like side quest. It's supposed to be like something else to do sometimes. But like it's feeling a little too thin to me. Um, is the sense that I've been getting. So I want to like actually like pick it up. Uh, Pick it up more. So yeah. So what I'm doing right now is I'm kind of like I'm working the so like the spont the so right now there's like the two sets of the event system where like they're the events that are written beforehand and they're just like in a giant bucket, and they're the events that are written like spontaneously like on or sorry I was calling the other ones spontaneous events, but like they're the ones that are written like on the fly. um, and right now I'm setting up a system so that the ones that are written on the fly get saved as intermediary data so that they can be integrated into the event pool, so that as the game plays, like the event pool will get bigger and bigger. I mean, it won't automatically get bigger, but it can get bigger and bigger, and yeah, that's I guess that's what I'm working on now. I'm setting up like the foundation for that, so that we kind of expand the event system in that way. Okay, so right now I'm just actually deciding where to save this data because like I want it to be relatively organized. But yeah, I guess I guess it's fine. I can put it basically wherever. I should organize this folder though. Like I should put like backgrounds, bonuses, equipment, karma. I should put those all in like an art folder. I should put players into the game data folder along with the events and like the participation. Right now it's a little bit messy. What the heck is? Oh, a PVT. Yeah, right. I know what that is. Test, a ridge. Like some of this stuff just doesn't need to be places. I'm gonna put a ridge into backups. Or I don't know. I actually don't even need to keep a ridge around. I could just delete a ridge. So yeah, whatever. I'll put it into backups, and I might accidentally delete it at some point, but that's actually fine. I don't care. Um, I, whatever. I'll just leave this in game data for now. It's fine here. It's gonna at some point it's gonna like slightly irk me that I've no, it's already irking me that it's there. So I'm just gonna put it right in the base folder for now, which is kind of the opposite of what I was just saying I should do, but whatever. Um, all right, no, this is fine. So raw events. Oh yeah, and I had that. I had written that in one other location. So right. So raw events. Doop-a-doop. Save that. And then, okay, so back to the other place. Uh, So right, okay, okay, so yeah, we're putting together the file name. Oh yeah, so then the last thing that we do is so once that's done, we say raw ev fname. Actually, we can do this. We don't have to do this right now. We can do this. We can do this down here. So raw ev file name equals or plus equals